Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you are making gold great again. All right. So, I do get this question a lot. Why do I trade with funding pips? Why would I like? Do I like trading with funding pips? Why don't I just go and trade with multiple, like plenty companies out there? You guys know me as someone that like trading with few prop firms, and in today's video I'm going to tell you guys everything I like about trading with funding pips, and by the end of this video you would know if you'll be interested into trading with funding pips. The first thing is funding pips is a trading company, right? It's a prop firm that allows you to get funded, allows you to turn your small capital into a bigger capital to trade and make more money. As me right now, I have $100 and I know that with $100 I cannot make a lot of money. I can go and purchase, let's say, 10k funded account with funding pips, and that allows me to get a $10,000 account that I can try to pass phase 1, phase 2, and once I do get the live account, then I can make money and cash out. So I have a bigger account to trade with and I have more drawdown. I have like $800 drawdown on a 10k account than having just $100 to play around with. So that is the advantage of you trading with a trading company. But that you can choose any company, right? You can choose funding pips, you can choose any other one. So it doesn't necessarily have to be funding pips. So now what are the reasons, or so what are the few things I choose funding pips over some others platform? First and most important thing is the challenge fee. For me, challenge fee is not that big of a deal, but it can be big of a deal for you, right? Because you started trading, so you wouldn't want to spend too much money. With funding pips, the challenge fee is really affordable. And when I'm saying affordable, I don't mean like the cheapest. I mean like it's affordable enough to be able to buy. I'm gonna give you an example. If you want to buy 100k with funding pips, it's gonna cost you somewhere around $400. But if you want to buy the same 100k account with a company like FTMO, is going to cost you not less than $600. So this is the reason why when you buy an account with, let's say, funding pips, is way affordable than you buying with some other company. I know some companies are actually cheaper than funding pips, but when it comes to trading with prop firm, it's all about reliability. It's all about like, do you actually trust the prop firm is gonna pay you out? You wouldn't want to buy an account with a prop firm that maybe sell you 100k for, let's say, $100, and then end up not paying you out, end up denying your payout and all of that. That's why funding pips, not only they are reliable, they also have a very affordable challenge fee. And then the next step here is the reliability. As I said, one thing that Funded Next claim on their website is that they have zero payout denial. I'm not making this up. It's on their website. You can go and check it out, right? I'm not saying that if you buy an account right now, they will never deny your payout. I'm not saying that. You can go and see on their website. They say that they have zero payout denial. And for me, I'm looking at that in a standpoint where, like, when you are a trader, you trade with a company, you make profit, your hard-earned money has to be paid out, right? You wouldn't be like at the end when you want to request for payout, then the prop firm just come out with some excuse just to not pay you out. So if funding peers claims that they do pay you anytime you make profit, that's some sort of peace of mind you should have whenever you trade with the company. So them saying that they have zero payout denial, it gives me some sort of confidence that if I trade, then I'm probably gonna get paid out. I hope you guys understand. And by the way, as I'm making this video, I have well over $77,000 in payout with funding pips, and none of my payout actually got denied. So that's why I actually trust that what they're saying actually is true, because I never got any single payout denial. And then the next step is the platform. At first, I think that was the beginning of this year, they only had C Trader and Match Trader. But for me, I didn't know how to really trade with C Trader or Match Trader. So I didn't like funding pips wasn't really my number one on the list when it comes to trading. I mostly put others problem ahead. But I think for the past 3 or 4 months now, they have gotten their own MT5 account, no, MetaTrader 5, that's like the standard when it comes to trading CFD. So now they have MT5, which is, I mean, really good. Basically for me, if there's any profile that has MT5 and then that MT5 has maybe low spread and then high leverage, that's pretty much what I want, and which funding pips does have. So that's why I choose funding pips as well. I can choose any other profile that has MT5, but doesn't just come to the trading platform. You have to look at other things, which I said at the beginning, the payout, processing, and all the other stuff. And when it comes to requesting your payout get processed within 3 days and sometimes within 24 hours. So which one actually get processed fast? So basically funding pips has a lot of payout type. They have weekly payout, bi-weekly payout, and then they have monthly payout. The monthly payout get processed within 3 days. That's what I know. and then the weekly payout get processed within 24 hours or within one business day, to make it simple. So one business day meaning that if I request my payout in the morning, most of the time in the evening I get paid. But if I request the payout, let's say in the evening, then it's gonna get paid the next business day. I hope you understand, because they have their own working hours. So if you request your payout outside of the working hours, then your payout is not gonna get processed the same day. You have to wait. So as I'm making this video, I have requested a $2,000 payout. I think $2,800 payout, and I requested today, but today is Friday. I requested around 11. I didn't get paid. I'm gonna get paid by Monday. Why? Because I didn't request early enough, and they said within one business day. That doesn't mean that when you request directly 1 hour later you'll get paid. It has to take like within 24 hours, like literally 24 hours. And tomorrow is weekend, Saturday and Sunday, these are weekends, these are not business days, so these don't count. And by Monday, then I'm gonna get my payout process. And one more thing that I like is the profit split. You guys know that I don't like giving away my profit. That's why most of the time you wouldn't see me trading with profit that give me like 60% or 40% profit split. So with funding pips, they have a lot. They have a lot of profit split that you can choose. But the one that I like is the 100% profit split, meaning that you get paid 100% of the profit you've made. Right? That's awesome. I mean, imagine you take a trade, you make $10,000. You knowing that you're gonna get paid the full $10,000. You're not gonna have, let's say, 80% profit split for the profit to take away $2,000 and give you 8,000. They'll pay you what? The full $10,000, and that's the monthly payout. So here's how I structure my thing. They offer up to 300K in funding, and after those 300K in funding, I take 100K account, put it for monthly payout. So every month I get paid. So all I need is straight 2 or 3 days, and then once I secure the payout, then I wait for the month to end, and then I get my payout. And then the others 200K account, I can probably go for weekly payout at 80% profit split. So within the month, I have 2 accounts that I get payout pretty much every single month, and that allows me to use that money for a living, right? Maybe if I want to travel, or if I just want money to live. You guys understand? But my monthly payout account, mostly I use it for investment. Every end of the month, if I do get my payout from my monthly account, then most of the time I kind of maybe go and buy something which is investment related. Maybe if I have to pay for a property, or if I have to maybe buy a land or anything I want to do, I use that account profit for those kind of things. But my weekly account mostly is just to enjoy my life, right? Which is, I mean, really, really good. So these are basically some of the reason why I like trading with funding pips. And one more thing I want to add to it is, I think it's gonna be the account model. So you have the funding pips account and you have the funding pips pro account. Mostly the funding pips pro account tend to be cheaper than funding pips. And then the second thing is the payout cycle, and then the how do I call it, the drawdown. Okay, and I'm gonna give you directly the one I like. The one I like all the two-step account. Why do I like all of the two-step accounts, but I don't like the one step? The one step, I used to like the one step, but the one step, the leverage is too low. Like, it's gonna be very difficult for you to pass that your phase one with the leverage on the one step. I hope you understand. But with two step, the leverage is big enough for you to be able to pass. So on the two step, I like trading the two-step pro and then the two-step funding pips. Two-step funding pips, two-step funding pips pro. So the two-step funding pips pro, that's the one that has weekly payout at 80% profit split. And it has 6% daily drawdown, and it has 6% phase one and 6% phase two. So phase one I make 6%, I pass. Phase two I make another 6%, I pass. Once I do pass, then I know that every week I have payout every 7 days, and then that payout I have at that payout I do get that 80% profit split, which is really good. And then the last thing is the funding pips, the two-step funding pips, and that one I mostly go for the monthly payout, which I do get 100% profit split. So these are basically it, and they even have daily payout. You can go and check it out. Right now I'm not really interested into the daily payout much like now, but if you want, you can also go and check out the daily payout. So this is basically everything about funding pips and what I like about funding pips. If you guys have any sort of question related with funding pips, just drop below this video. I'm gonna go through it and then reply to you guys. And beside that, if you guys want to trade with funding pips, feel free to use my coupon code ASUSFX. It will give you 5% discount on your first purchase. Okay, and then I hope you are making what gold great again, right? So see you guys. I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye bye.